all right. We are got everything kind of set up now. Um, tonight's topic is the 10 Grand Clan classes in session. I'm gonna be going into specifics to talk about those of us that hold a CDL license, especially, especially. So there are gonna be some things that there are gonna be some things that may be a little bit hard to hear, but again, I'm saying these things. I'm also going to bring the knowledge and science that goes behind that. So, you know, we're going to be going into that this evening. So, as you guys come in, give me a sound check. Let me know everything is good, and we'll go into tonight's science. I got the headset hooked up, so I hope that the audio is pretty clear. All right. So, say my audio's good. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Good evening, Mr. Turner. What's going on with you? Okay. I'm going to say this, and it may be a little bit hard to hear, but let's see, all is well. It may be a little bit hard to hear, but this is the truth here. There is no reason why any CDL holder that's doing this full time, that's a truck driver that's full time. You have a CDL license, you have a year's experience, and you don't have at least $10,000 of money, you don't have $10,000 of funds of money that's in your account that you got put away that you say that you ain't got to do anything with. If you ain't got $10,000 and you're in this profession, something is definitely wrong. So we're going to be covering all the bases, regardless of what you're in. If you're a company driver, if you're in a lease, if you're a company 1099, if you're own operator, we're going to be covering all the bases. We're going to be covering all the bases. If you have a CDL license, if you have a CDL license and you have over a year's experience, you should have at least $10,000 in your bank account, at least 10 grand. And I'm talking about $10,000 that you could put away and you ain't got to do anything with it. Like, look, it's there. That's just, that's not my bill money and stuff like that. I mean, that's just money I got tucked away for whatever reason, for whatever ventures I need, for whatever ventures the stuff that I have. If you don't have that, something is definitely wrong. Something is definitely wrong because we're forgetting the reason why we made the transition into becoming truck drivers in the first place. Because for the majority of people, they made that transition because whatever you was in wasn't paying. It wasn't paying enough, or if it was paying, it wasn't consistent enough. It wasn't paying enough, or it wasn't paying consistent enough. Not enough to stay. Not enough to have a stable lifestyle. You know, um, there are a few people that choose. There are a few people that choose this career. Because they have a genuine love for the career, and so um, for those types, money will come necessarily easier for them because in this job, when you have a skill, when you have any kind of skill, money is just a byproduct of the type of service that you're going to produce. But for most people, it's this job requires, um, or this skill requires a real big sacrifice. So you might as well be all in. You're not going to be home every day. You're not going to be home every weekend. You're going to miss birthdays, holidays, first day of school, so on and so forth. This profession requires you. This profession requires you to be out here on this road. That's what it is. Some people may have the fortune, if that's what they want to call it, of being home every day. But again, what's the purpose of being home every day, right? If you're running into the same issues, you got a CDL license, and yet you're struggling to pay your bills. This is not, you're not working in some factory or whatever, or some other business. I mean, there's consistency out here in trucking. There's consistency out here. I mean, yeah, some people get hooked up with the wrong folk. Some people get hooked up with the wrong folk, but for the most part, there is consistency out here. There is consistency, and so one of the problems that people run into, one of the problems that people run into is that they give up too easily on a place that they work, on a place that they get hired with. A lot of company drivers and stuff. I see that they work for a company, you know, they probably give them about a month, maybe a couple weeks or something like that, and then something goes wrong, and then they quit, and then they go work somewhere else. When the same business practices are going on right over there, and then they find themselves running into the same situation, the same messages and stuff. They going back and forth, having the same conversations with people. Well, I can't do this, I can't do that. You're doing me like this, you're doing me like that. You know, leaving and going over here to another carrier when you're not maximizing the fullest potential that you can get for the carrier that you're working for. It doesn't matter whether it's a mega carrier or if it's a small operation, if it's a 1099, have you maximize everything that you need to do in that business. But I say before then, there's something else that needs to be covered. And the thing is that are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to put in the sacrifice that's needed for you to get this money? Are you willing to put this sacrifice in? And so, I talk to a lot of people, and it's like, they say, well, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier done than said. It's a lot easier done than said. So, a lot of people saying they can't do it. So I'm saying, well, you know, you're just putting your progress on hold. How are you talking about trying to move to the next step and own your truck or to get your credit and stuff straight? You know, um, yeah, get your credit and stuff straight, or be in a better place be a better place economically. What's the whole point if you're not willing to put the sacrifice in? Because right now you don't have nothing. You don't have anything. So it's pretty safe to say that what you're doing is not getting you to the goal. It's not getting you to the goal because if there was, there would be consistency in it, and then you will get to the goal and stuff at the time that you need to get there. Okay, why are you, if you ain't got 10 grand, why are you even going home? What's the whole purpose of having home time? For what? You're going home for a couple of days and stuff, and then some, a lot of times it gets over, you go overboard with it, you know. A lot of people go overboard. You're absolutely right, Mr. Turner. I mean, that's a lot. I get that a lot from people who talk to me, and then they saying, "Well, daggone, Rooster, hey, look, I'm trying to be where you are. I'm trying to get this stuff. Well, then this is what you got to do because every time you see me, where do you see me at? In the truck. You see me in the truck and stuff. There are very few times that you're going to catch me outside of my element. Very few, and that's because I mean, hey, I got work to do. It's a lot, it's a lot of things that I'm behind on, right? That I should have been taking care of and stuff years ago. That I have to do these things now. So the sacrifice has to come in now in order to get the things that I want and need. And so, you got to be willing to put that same work in. Like, $10,000, hey, that's a start right there. That's a start right there. Every truck driver should have at least 10. Every truck driver out here should have at least 10 grand in their account. At least 10 grand. And so if you ain't got that, then hey, why are you going home? Why are you taking time off? You need to be getting this stuff down packed because you are in a business where there's consistency. There's a business, this is a business where it's consistency. Freight is always moving. It may not be in the place where it may not be in the particular place where you are, but as long as you are in the element, as long as you're in the element and you're ready and prepared to work, then I mean, then the opportunity is going to show itself. And so when the opportunity comes, hey, you pounce upon it. You pounce upon it. Now, I don't want to be saying things just for I don't want to be saying things just for the sake of saying things. So, let's see, I don't have my tablet up right now. Hold up. So we're gonna also do the math too. So anybody that's thinking like, well, okay, I'm just saying stuff just to be saying stuff, I'm gonna show you with the numbers. And it doesn't matter what carrier you go to. If if you an entry level or whatever, if you just getting your CDLs, or if you've been in the industry for probably, a couple years or whatever, it all applies the same way. It all applies the same way and stuff. And so, um, for numerous amounts of reasons, we get sidetracked. We get sidetracked, and then we think that, well, okay, we'll worry about these things later, or the consistency will come later, or I'll bust a lick later. You know what I'm saying? You got to get it now. The reason why you don't have it is because you're not trying to do what you got to do now. Okay, so Triple CS, what's going on with you, brother? So I'm trying to wait for this tablet to boot up so I can show with the numbers, because the other thing I keep emphasizing is that this is the first time in history. This is the first time in trucking history where a company driver can make six figures. You can make six figures because everybody's always talking about six figures. They want to be with a six-figure individual, so on and so forth. And so, the opportunity is here for you to make it. And so you're letting the opportunity pass by because you talk yourself out of money. You're talking yourself out of money. You know, um, you're letting yourself be talked out of money. Well, what's the best carrier? What's the best carrier to go with? Right there where you are, because whatever they told you was enough for you to go over there. Sean Brown, what's going on with you, Sean? I'll be John Brown. It's Sean Brown. So just lost my chain of thought and stuff. But anyway, you know, you're letting yourself be talked out of money. All right, J Ross 33, what's going on with you? Okay. 1099 is the way to go. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna cover all those bases, guys. Um, as a company driver, again, they're saying something, and what they said, it impressed you enough to go there and fill the application out, go through the process, and now you're working for them. And so now that you get over there, you see that, well, oh man, things ain't all what it's cracked up to be. But then what I see with the people who sit there and leave carriers and go over here to other carriers, you know, they leave carriers and then go over to the other carriers. They find themselves right in the same predicament. And like I said, I mean, I follow them, and it's a lot of guys I follow and stuff. They working for this company this week, and then next week they go on to work for another carrier, and the problems stay consistent. Oh man, I'm having problems with the people that's over here. Instead of staying over there and solving the problem, right? You say, well, okay, I'll just leave and go over here and work for another carrier. And then some of these guys will wind up working for a carrier, leave, and then they'll go right back to the same carrier. So that means that you didn't max out the full potential. You didn't see exactly everything that you can do before you went on ahead and throw your hands up and say, no, this ain't for me. So as a company driver, one of the biggest problems as a company driver is that you talk yourself out of money. Okay, understand the platform as being a company driver. That means all of the business. This goes for company drivers. This also it can apply to lease drivers. I'm a spin it another way. But as a company driver, understand The business side of things is being taken care of. You, as the company driver, is the final force into making sure that the deal is done. So you're in a very powerful position, whether you know it or not. All the business is being done. That means all the negotiating, all the rates. Um, as a company driver, they already know what loads they're going to put you on. They already know what lanes they're going to send you on, right? The only person that don't know it is yourself, is because if they were to let you know that this is what's going to be on the agenda this week, you could stop the whole process by saying, "Hey man, you know what? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it." And you done messed up their whole operation. All the money that they was going to make on that particular lane, on that particular truck, was shut down, all because they let you in on the process. But see, business, which I say, as a company driver, they should just, if they want to eliminate all the problems, then just get everybody caught up to speed about how the business and stuff works, like what I'm doing now. But um, that's how it works, so when you're a company driver, yeah, everything is based upon your morale. Okay, they work, they fixate on your morale. They say, well, without you, there wouldn't be no company. There wouldn't be no company. You see that, you go in any terminal, whatever and stuff, it's always fixated on the driver. Or the driver is the wedge, the driver is the driving force. They're the blood, they're the bloodstream of the system. Whatever stuff that they talk about the driver to say that you're number one as a company driver, which I'm saying, yeah, that has some truth in it, right? That has some truth in it, but they're just not letting you know all of the business that's involved into making the money. But you are the driving force as a company driver to make sure that the deal goes good. Because if you say no, I'm not going to do it, they're going to have to go to a whole different step to get the job done. They're hiring you to drive their truck, their trailer, with the freight that they book, with the insurance that they have up there, with the customers that contracts that they sign, with the freight that you handling to take it from point A to point B. And so, as a company driver, you should take full advantage of the fact that you are the final force into making sure that everything goes right. So, don't waste your time, right? Don't waste your time getting into things, getting into conversations about, fixing up your morale. Don't worry about your morale, okay? Don't worry about that stuff. It doesn't matter because you're just there to do the job. You're there to crank up the truck, make sure everything and stuff is working properly on the equipment, and just take the equipment. Just go pick up the freight and take it where it has to go. So if you want people to be more, if you want people to be honest with you in business, then you got to be more receptive. You got to be more receptive to what goes on in business. That, hey man, listen, they're just a lot of things in business just aren't going to go your way all the time. It's just not going to go your way all the time, man. Hey, we're we want to be home on this certain day. That's not going to happen. We want to pick up a load at this certain time, and we get there on time. Things don't go like they supposed to. You go down the highway, things don't go like it's supposed to. You get to the consignee, things don't go like it's supposed to. You know, very few times do things, actually work the way that they're planned. But you got to be, you got to be ready, and you got to have that mindset to say that, well, okay, when things don't go the way it's when things go the way it's not supposed to, right? It's not for me to get bent out of shape. That's business, and that's how things work. So let's go ahead and do what we got to do for the sake of business to get this stuff rectified to move to the next objective. As a company driver, use problem, and you know, no matter what you are in trucking, you know, but company drivers specifically, be one to solve problems. The problems that come towards you. Okay, hey, man, listen, and just be straight up about it. People are go- there are going to be people in this industry that just aren't going to understand, right? But I'm saying from a company driver perspective, you're protected. Okay, you're protected. You don't have to really worry about, you know, yeah, they're gonna, they're gonna be people that call you and kind of, you know, make this little falling out stuff, little disingenuous stuff about, oh man, daggone man, eh, they're acting like they don't understand the stuff when they do because they're in this business every single day. So they know all the pitfalls of the business, how things work, and so on and so forth. So they know you're not no exception. They know you're not no exception. You're going to be a statistic. Okay, hey man, what happened? I got caught in traffic. You know, they'll go into the little needless argument sake of stuff like, well, you should have took a better route, or you know all this little nonsense. But man, look, they know what this business consists of, right? So don't even get yourself involved in those. Don't even get yourself involved in that. It's not even worth you even responding to it. You just be quiet. You let them talk. You let them talk and stuff like that, man. Anything that you need to do to go ahead and get them off the phone, so you can go ahead and whatever problem there is, just go and get it rectified, right? People are going to say things that you're just not going to, they're not going to like, and that you're not going to like, and they're not going to be people to try to understand, right? You know, they're not going to be people to understand, issues from your point of view. That's the reason why you driving trucks and they're not. They're sitting up in the off. They're sitting up in the office. They wouldn't even dare think about going out here and getting the CDL. You know, but what you got to also understand is that you're making more than them. You're making more than them. Them guys and stuff in the office, even though the work is consistent in there and stuff, I mean, the most they're gonna make is what, about uh 50, $60,000, 50, $60,000 and stuff. I mean, hey, you're a go getter. You're a go getter. So you can make more than them. You can make more than them. And I mean, and your sector of business is more consistent. The only thing you got to do is just be at the ready. You know, don't get into needless conversations or to needless thoughts as a company driver saying, well, I got to be friends with my dispatcher. I gotta be friend. I gotta be friends with my dispatcher. I gotta be friends with the people that's in there. You ain't gotta be friends with them because that's not how the money is made. The money is made and stuff when you sitting there ready to ride and you got everything that's done on your end. You got your pre-trips and stuff done. The truck is in order and stuff to a point to where, hey, look, I don't think I ain't gonna be running into any kind of problems and stuff, right? And you got hours ready to rock and roll. You got hours ready to rock and roll and stuff, man, and your mind and everything is in set. You got your good night rest. You got your good night rest and stuff, man. You're ready for whatever it is that come down the pipe. You got those things ready and stuff, man, and just have, I ain't saying you're gonna be a ball of fire, right? But what I'm saying is that if you got those premises down packed and you ready to ride, then let's go ahead and get it. Don't worry about the needless conversations that's gonna turn into needless arguments, right? That's gonna take away from the energy that you need in order to fulfill the goal. You got 600 miles. You got 600 miles of riding you got to do today. So you need your energy. You need your energy and your focus on that. Okay, well, all right, I'm gonna be going through this route or that route there and stuff. You need 100% concentration. 100%. That means, if you got anything on your mind that's dealing with some kind of argument, and I'm not even saying negative energy, I'm just saying anything that's going to take away from the energy that you need in order to fulfill the goal and stuff, then, you setting yourself back. Because if you upset, if you upset or something's bothering you and stuff, man, you ain't going to be ready to ride. You know, you're going to pull over and stuff, man. You'll find yourself getting into a conversation with yourself and then, making needless rationalization to go over here to try to um, have an argument with somebody about something that about something that is unrelated. That even if you win the argument, which you're never going to win an argument, it's you never been into you never got into an argument with a person where they sat there and said, you know what, hey, I'm wrong for what I did, I'm wrong for what I said. You are absolutely correct in any situation there is. Even when the people know that they're wrong, they still rationalize their behavior. So knowing this, just go ahead and cut that on off. Just go ahead and cut that on off. All the needless conversations about stuff, man, eliminate that. No, I don't feel like coming in. I don't feel like coming into the terminal and talking and sitting down, sitting down and talking about things. I don't want to do that unless money is involved. Okay? If money is involved, yeah, I'll sit down, I have a conversation with you. But if you know that's not involved, or come to the terminal and chill out with us for a day because we're doing driver appreciation day. Don't worry about that stuff, man. Don't worry about that stuff because see, those are just morale boosters, but you don't need no morale booster. You just need to get to the money. Okay, listen, what's the assignment today? What's the assignment today? Let's go ahead and take care of that so I can go on there and get that in the payroll. And then, because of me, being in the position maybe before some other people, they could change the directives around, right? And put you in a better position to make more money. Because as long as you're moving, as long as you got that assignment, it's attached to dollars. It's attached to money. So, just make sure that your mindset is in check along with other things, making sure the truck is running to the best of the ability. If you see a problem and you know it's going to be a problem and stuff, then okay, present it, go on, take care of it and stuff like that, and keep it moving. You know, um, but that whole, as a company driver, if you ain't got $10,000, you ain't got no reason to be going home. So while you out here on the road, and you're in the midst of trying to take care of getting to the goal of making that money, there's always going to be opportunities out here and stuff, man, for you to embark on. So, some things that you need in order to move to the goal more efficiently is to take on the task that nobody else wants to take on. Be that type of person right there. Hey, listen, always go for the difficult route. Always take the difficult task because that's where most of your consistency is going to lie at. The difficult things, the stuff that people don't want to do, and the runs that people don't want to run. Like me, I stay in the Northeast. Why I stay in the Northeast? Because there's consistency year round. You talk to anybody and stuff, they'll tell you, man, listen, I don't want to run the Northeast. I don't want to run Northeast. I don't want to go to certain areas inside the Northeast. Me, on the other hand, I take care of all that. One of the questions they ask, even though they forget a lot of time, they say, Rooster, do you run New York? Yeah, I run New York. I run New York, and I mean, things have been mapped out more better than they have 20 years ago when I got into the industry. You got GPSs, um, you got boots on the ground research that can show you which way you need to actually go to get to said place. You know, People can give you, real updates and stuff about what's going on in real time in these areas and stuff. As opposed 20 years ago, you went based upon what a person said, and then you find out what you got there. You found out when you got there how to figure this thing out. But now, things have been more easier. So, but you always take on the difficult task because when you're always taking on the difficult task, right, then anything under that is always going to be easy for you. Everything is always going to be easy for you. So, always take on, like I said, always take on the difficult tasks, the stuff that nobody else wants to do, the runs that nobody else wants to run. Because, see, if you're the one that's always up to the task, right, then, hey, you know, it's yours, it's consistency. And that's where the money comes from. While everybody else is waiting around, to try to go to these um, elaborate places. Well, I just want to run the southeast. I just want to run the southeast. I don't want to be over here in this particular area. You already know what your task is. Get out here and go ahead and take care of what you have to take care of. So, Truck It Out Dula, what's going on, brother? Um, Talking yourself out of money, right? Talking yourself out of money. You're going to be in situations where you're going to be in an area. You're going to be in an area, and sometimes freight just ain't kicking off the way it's supposed to be kicking off. When the reality is that they already know. what the next load assignment is going to be for you. They just ain't letting you know. Okay, listen, you delivering, you delivering. Let's see, tomorrow's what, Friday, so your next load probably won't pick up till Sunday. But once you get done Friday, you probably looking around on Saturday like, hey man, what's going on? Hey man, it's not a lot of stuff jumping out here. When that ain't that's not the reason. The reason is that they got you in position to be ready to take care of the next load and stuff, that so they have to tell you, okay, well look, we're going to be working on trying to get you your next load when they already know where you're going. Especially if you're with a mega carrier, they already know what your next step is going to be. They just don't let you know that, because if they would have let you know that and stuff, then like, no, I don't want to do it, and then the whole thing is messed up. So they just choose not to tell you. That's a business tactic that they picked up, and it's effective. That's why they're not changing it. So in order to change up that tactic, you got to change up the way you do things in business, and be receptive to whatever it is, the stuff that they tell you. If it's something bad and stuff, hey, it is what it is. It's business, okay? It's business, but let's go ahead and get to this money. Let's get to the goal. Chase and Andrew, what's going on with you? But don't talk yourself out of money. So you did your load, and now you're sitting. But the next load might not come out and stuff till Sunday or maybe Monday. So they're going to give you layover. You're a company driver. You're a company driver in a company truck. So what you're doing is that and you got their tool and stuff you're taken care of. Just find something to do. Because things have never been so easier and so accessible. It used to be when you went to certain areas. It used to be when you went to certain areas, you was just there. That was it. But now, you can go out and you can actually travel now. You can actually travel now. TB, what's going on with you? You can call you an Uber. You can go in town. You can get a little dressed up and go to all the other places. You're not. It's not a trucking world anymore. It's not a trucking world anymore. The real world and the trucking world has merged together. So you always got things to do. Just be smart about it. Don't sit there and be sitting in the truck all day, or in the truck stop, or in the terminal, whatever. Being all upset about the fact that you're not moving. Oh well, I could be at the house. Yeah, you could be at the house, but instead you're out here in the trucking world making money to get to the goal of that 10 grand. So don't talk yourself out of money. Don't get upset to a point where you're going to get on the phone and start talking to a dispatcher about, hey man, listen, I want to go and move. I want to move something now. You already qualifying for layover. You already qualifying for that. So that's money that's come. It ain't no money to make today, right? So you might as well get what money you can today. Yeah, you could be making more money if you had a load, but there's no load right now. So don't talk yourself out of money that's that's owed to you. You're in a layover status and stuff. That's what it is. 'Cause they'll sit there, they'll send you okay, well, you don't want to sit around, fine. I'll find you a load. And then they'll send you a load, right? It's a ghost load. It's somebody else's load and stuff, and then okay, yeah, I got you a load and stuff, and right when you crank up and about to leave, and stuff, they'll call you back. Hey man, sorry man, the load canceled. But see, being the fact that it canceled, being the fact that you talked yourself out of money, now the layover clock has to reset. Now the layover clock has to reset, because technically they say, yeah, we gave you a load, but you ain't got no way of proving whether the load was real or not. That's what they call ghost loads. So they use that to disqualify you from getting money that's owed to you. So if you're laid over, right, find things to do constructively in this time of you sacrificing, so that you're not thinking that your sacrifice is for nothing. Well, I'm just out here on this road for nothing. You're still getting money. Get familiarized with the layover status. Okay, how long do I have to be in this status right here in order to get this type of money? I've already got to do it anyway. So meanwhile, just do things constructively. You're not gonna always be in the ideal areas and stuff, but there's always something to do. Okay, you're not familiarized with the industry and how things work. So this is where, while you're down, what are you doing? Are you, are you studying? Are you researching? Are you working on your skill every day? Or are you just sitting around and just being bored and stuff? Oh man, there's nothing to do. There's plenty of stuff to do. It's just the things that you want to do aren't accessible to you. And the things that are going to make you better in your business are the uncomfortable things. They're the uncomfortable things, but those are the things and stuff that you got. Those are things that you have to learn in order to get better, because you're not born in this world. You're not born in this world knowing anything. You're going to have to learn. But while you're down and while there's nothing around bothering you and stuff like that, dedicate yourself to learning things. It's always something to learn. Get yourself familiarized with things. If it's skill that you lack, and work on that skill while the clock is ticking, because you're already in a money status if you're a company driver. Don't talk yourself out of the money, because there are things again that you qualify for, based upon the policy. Okay, I qualify for this. Okay, well, let me see what else things and stuff I qualify for. So when you have the conversations with your dispatcher, there's something legitimate, because it's always dealing with money and it's dealing with business. And when it's dealing with business, that's going to get the attention of other business type people and stuff to say that, well, you know what, hey, he's a problem solver. And that's what people want in business, problem solvers. They don't want focused stuff that's just in there just pouting and just saying things and stuff just for the sake of saying things. This is what truck drivers do. They say a lot of stuff and then they ain't got any kind of evidential proof about nothing. They just, case in point. Uh, you got secret agent Maya up here talking about emission systems and all that other stuff there, and I see it done went to other certain sectors where now people are talking about the hours of service. They're talking about eliminating the hours of service. You know, those arguments right there and stuff, man. What I'm saying, I mean, that's not even legitimate. That's from a business standpoint, that's not logical. So I mean, don't get yourself involved and don't get yourself in conversations about things that's going to make you lose money. People are going to be saying things or whatever, and they ain't going to be presenting any kind of they're not going to be presenting any kind of receipts to substantiate their claim, right? So with those guys, there, don't waste your time with them. Don't waste your time with them and stuff. But I'm saying, in order to identify who these guys are, yeah, you might have to listen to a little bit of their nonsense. You might have to listen to a little bit of nonsense and stuff, but be one that's a researcher. And when you're a researcher, that's what eliminates all that stuff while you're in the position of, you know, waiting on the next load assignment. You're already out here, you're already committed. So just go ahead and all in. Don't talk yourself out of money. Don't get into conversations with people who with people that can't really show and prove in their own particular lifestyle. Every time you see them, they always changing up. I'm not saying that they have to prove with the way that they dress or their cars or all that other stuff there. Always focus on the business. Look at the business. Always look at the business and you'll know whether they're taking care of business or not. Look at the business aspect of things. Don't look at what they do in their personal life, because hey, anybody can anybody can dress themselves up to make it seem like they're doing something and stuff more grand than what it is. I mean, heck, you know, when I went to California, they was I asked for an economy style car. I asked for an economy style car, but they had all the cars and stuff. Hey, you want a luxury car? This how much it's gonna cost and stuff. And it didn't cost a lot of money to get it. You want to upgrade? Okay, $30 more a day, and you could take this BMW with you. You could take this S5, if I'm saying it correctly, this Mercedes Benz or whatever. And so I mean, that's it. You sit there, dress up, and take pictures with it and stuff, man. Oh, and just flex it for the gram or whatever. People do those things on their personal stuff, but on their business, it can't. On their business, they're saying things that's just not logical. And see, that when you research yourself and when you get yourself fixated into the business world of things. So don't talk yourself out of money. It's always money to be made. You know, the home time stuff. Don't worry about the home time, right? Don't worry about the home time stuff. Why are you worried about going home? You don't have any money. You don't have any money because if you yeah, you're making more money than what you used to make, based upon where you used to work at and stuff. But the thing is that you want to maximize. You want to maximize what you can get. Some people never held $10,000 in their account before. I know the first time and stuff I did it, man. I mean, it was an accomplishment. Hey, look, how many more 10 grands and stuff can I put in there and stuff? And so it just, once you get there and then you see how it's done, it's like, man, hey, look, let me see how far I can take this thing. Let me see how far I can take this thing. And then you take it a little further, then you find out, oh, this is what business is about. So now when you get into that, so now when it's time to, well, I guess when the rubber's time to reach the road, when it's time to actually do business type stuff, you're already there. You're already there now and stuff. It ain't no more talking anymore. You can actually go over here and do it. Okay, man, you want to go over here to the dealership and get you a truck? Okay, yeah, you qualify. You got the bread. You got the money, you put in the sacrifice, and then okay, well, hey, truck payments aren't that much of a big deal and stuff because it's different from me getting it from using it, or say getting in somebody's lease program or whatever. You find out, oh man, shoot, I'm saving too. My truck payment, brand new truck is probably $1,500, but you getting in somebody's lease program, you paying 26, 26, 3,000. But if you never familiarize yourself in business, you think that everything is consistent around, is everything is consistent around what you do in the lease program. Okay, I got to pay for this, I got to pay for that. So if I go to the lot, you know, if I go to the lot, I'm probably gonna be paying the same thing. But just pushing yourself to that level of stuff, man, of understanding and you getting that money, it gives you a better perspective on how to be more financially responsible, to have financial discipline. Because in the midst of getting to the money, you're gonna be tempted about a lot of things. And so, if you're at the house, first is going to be yourself, because as you see your money and stuff growing, right? As you see your money and stuff growing, and you see that, well, okay, I qualify for a lot of things now. So you're going to be going by the Dodge dealership. You're going to be going by the Dodge dealership and stuff, and you see that Hellcat. Okay, I'm just going to go over here and entertain myself, right? I'm gonna go and entertain myself, and then you go in there and fill out what little stuff you need to fill out, and then hey, they tell you you qualified. You qualified. You want the car and stuff. Clearly, you got the money. You didn't make the 10 grand, but what it is that in the midst of you getting towards the 10 grand, they see the consistency that's there, right? So they saying, well, you fix your credit score and stuff like that. So yeah, I need to go ahead and start, you know, indulging in some of the finer things in life. You're not actually at the goal yet, but in the midst of getting there, you're going to be tempted about a lot of things. And so, if you don't have financial discipline and financial restraint, then you're going to find yourself in the midst of, making the money and getting it consistently, but you're going to be putting it towards things that's not going to be really beneficial in the long run. Everybody want nice things. Everybody want nice things, and so that's what you're working towards. But I'm saying, now it's just you got a goal in mind right now. So you're putting in this sacrifice. But man, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to sit there and say, I'm gonna go and stay out here on this road and stuff for about a month or two, and you got that Hellcat sitting in the driveway, or whatever, that Hellcat or BMW or Mercedes. It's kind of hard to do that when you got that sitting in the driveway. Well, you got it sitting in the driveway and stuff. But the thing is that it's in the driveway of some apartment that you staying in. Don't you want a house? Oh well, the house and stuff will come later. Yeah, because the house and stuff will come later. How late? Because you getting older every day and stuff, and it's a very arrogant thing to say that. Well, hey, I'm gonna go over here and apply for this house and get this get approved for this mortgage, but then you gotta do 30 years in your mortgage, and you're 30 years old. You're 30 years old. Yeah, I seen that and stuff. I mean, yeah, last year for it and stuff. I mean, you just imagine that. You're 30 years old, you go for a 30-year mortgage. 60 years old. For a house, for a house that costs you know, a house now and stuff, I mean, you're talking about 350 you're talking about $350,000. You're talking about $350,000 for a house, but the thing is that when you understand the business and the consistency side of things, finance isn't really some of those things you're going to be considering because you like, well, dang on, if I go ahead and sacrifice, like what Trucker Brown was saying, Trucker Brown was saying, well, look, if I go and sacrifice 5 years, I could just buy the house straight out. I could just go ahead and buy the house straight out, which is what the bank, banks and a lot of financial institutions, they're not expecting somebody to do that type of stuff. So I'm saying if you got cash on hand, right, it makes you a very powerful individual because there are no talk tos now. There's nobody else you got to talk to now. You got the cash on hand, so you're not going to be paying $350,000. Your price is going to be significantly lower because if they got the cash and they can get it and they ain't got to go through the whole process of making sure that you get approved and all that stuff, because once they got the cash in hand, they're going to take it and go flip it. That one house that you bought for them and stuff, man, is going to set up probably 4 or 5 houses. But you got the cash on hand. But that's what the financial institutions do not. They don't anticipate that. But that's because you have to have financial discipline, and your financial discipline comes through the process and stuff of you going towards that 10 grand. You know, because you might sit there and get it at 5. You might get it at 5. You might get it at 7 or 8, or say, okay, all right, that's close enough right there. Let me go ahead and start. Let me go. Let me go ahead and start doing other stuff now. You know, the next thing is that in the midst of you sacrificing, there are going to be some people around you. It might be your girlfriend, might be your wife, or whoever your significant other is and stuff like that. I mean, just to be fair, whoever or whatever your significant other is and stuff, they're going to be looking at these things too, and then they're going to be coming with suggestions about what they can be doing with this money in order to make things better around the house. And so, if your sacrifice is not committed, if you're not fully committed, then well, you're going to get off track and off kilter, and you're going to be buying things that hey, I shouldn't be buying. But then that just lets you know and stuff. Okay, well, I need more discipline, or this thing just ain't for me. Period. But as a company driver, that's just a little tidbit in that and stuff, man. Listen, you're a company driver. You ain't got 10 grand. You can make $100,000 a year. Let me go and break this other stuff down to you to show you to show you to show you what it is. I was looking at U.S. Express. What do entry companies, just to be fair, right? What do entry companies pay you starting out? What do entry companies pay you starting out? Because I done seen some numbers, I'm like 42 cent a mile, seen some 45 cent a mile. Um, I don't see too many 30s anymore. I don't see too many 30s anymore and stuff, but I mean, if they're still around, okay. But I'm everything I've been looking at is anywhere between 42, 45 cent a mile. Am I correct in that assessment? Right. But am I correct in that assessment? Because here's what you face right here. Right. So let's just say the company's paying you 42 cent a mile, right? You're getting paid 42 cent a mile. So you want to maximize all the miles and stuff that you can do. So you take so you want to do what, about 3,000, you want to do about 3,000 miles and stuff, right? So 3,000 miles, and you want to do on a 7-day rotation because that's how they're gonna be basing your pay every 7 days, right? So this why I say this is where the sacrifice and the commitment comes in at. So, you take 3,000 miles and you divide that by seven. You take 3,000 miles divided by seven, and they'll give you about 400. I believe 428 miles. Okay, this thing went act stupid. Okay, 3,000 divided by seven. Okay, just to be fair and stuff, right? We got the calculator and stuff right here. So, um, Okay, that's not showing anything. Okay, so you see that number right there and stuff. 428-5, 420 miles dash 57. So you round that on up, right? So 400 and so 420. So you might as well say 430 miles a day. 430 miles a day and stuff. So if you drive in your truck at 55 miles an hour, if you average in your truck about 55 miles an hour, right? You take that and divide that by 428. Nope, wait a minute, I got that wrong. Take 428 divided by 55. You divide it by 55, then you come up with this number right here and stuff, which is that's 7 hours and 78 minutes. That's 7 hours and 78 minutes and stuff, which is basically 8 hours and it's basically 8 hours and 15 minutes. 8 hours and 15 minutes a day. So you ain't gonna go over your 70. You just got that in drive time and stuff. So the rest of the stuff is gonna be on duty. You're gonna be doing what, 30 minutes, 15 minutes for a pre-trip, 15 minutes for a pre-trip, whatever it is that you want to show for fuel and for loading. But the thing is, you're never gonna go over your 70. You're never gonna go over your 70 and stuff. Working 8 hours a day. So it ain't gonna be a need for you to even do a 34-hour restart because you're always picking up time. So you see, when you get that type of science and stuff down packing, I'm saying that's you averaging 55. If you drive your truck at 55 mile an hour, average. So if you're doing 3,000 miles as a company driver, of course you're going to be here, there, and everywhere. But the thing is that the consistency lies in that. The consistency lies in that. So you got 3,000 miles. Okay, you got 3,000 miles. You're making 42 cents a mile. All right, so you're gonna be grossing. You're gonna be grossing about 1,260 dollars. You're gonna be grossing about $1,260 and stuff. So I'm just saying that's just based on the miles. So what about all the other stuff that goes in between that, right? You're gonna have other incentives and stuff inside there. You might get a fuel bonus. You might have a stop. You might have a stop there. There are a lot of other incentives that go into things that you're gonna be doing every week besides driving. So you add that money and stuff in there. So you add that money and stuff in there. So it gross up. So if you grossing 1260 a week, so if you grossing 1260 a week and stuff, right? So you take that. So you take that and divide that by 10,000. Well, you take 10,000, divide that by 1260. Wait a minute, hold, that's still wrong. So anyway, it's gonna take you at 1260. What are you talking? Let's see. Hold up. God Almighty. I'm trying to do this math correctly. I don't even know why I'm getting a bunch of text messages and stuff, and so I'm kind of reading it. It's just it's throwing my concentration and stuff off. So um, okay, so 12.6. So you make it 12.6. You make it 1260, right? A week, gross. So in 10 weeks, that's 12. In 10 weeks, it's $12,000. In 10 weeks, that's $12,000. So I'm saying, for so 10 weeks, you're talking about two. You're talking about 2.5 months. You're talking about 2.5 months. There are 42 weeks in a year. I mean, not 42. You still got 42 weeks left. It's what I'm saying. You got 42 weeks left. It's 52 weeks in a year. No, you know what? That's wrong. It's 52 weeks in a year. You did 12 weeks. Nope. You know what? I'm still wrong. Okay. It's 52 weeks. You did 10 weeks. That means you got 42 weeks left. You still got 42 weeks left. So I'm saying if you dedicate yourself to that, right? You just did 12,000 gross. So your net should be somewhere around your net should be somewhere around 8,000, right? Your net should be somewhere around 8,000. So you got 2 months. So I'm gonna say you got about 3 months worth of bills. You got about 3 months worth of bills and stuff. So you subtract that and then you see what you got left over. So I'm saying, all right. So I would say, so we talking about what, 2.5? We talking about 2.5 months right there. So you dedicate yourself what, 5 months? You dedicate yourself You dedicate yourself to 5 months. You got your 10 grand right there at 42 cent a mile. At 42 cent a mile and stuff, right? So that's five. So that's 5 months. You still got you still got nine. You still got 9 more months left. You still got 9 more months left and stuff. You know, if you want to, if you know, that's one way of looking. I'm gonna say that's the way to look at it. 5 months. 5 months. That's at 42 cent. But people saying, man, no, I can't. I can't work 5 months straight. I can't work 5 months straight and stuff, man. I got to have some home time. Well, if you sit there, if you really dedicated to trying to get this money, otherwise that, yeah, you could put it on hold. But then the 5 months will start turning into 5 years, and you still ain't hit the goal. I'm gonna just go out here. I'm gonna make this money and stuff. I mean, cause as a truck driver with a CDL, you're a CDL license holder. It ain't no more living paycheck to paycheck. Let's just go on and keep it real. Ain't no living in no paycheck to paycheck. So it's about you and how dedicated you are to go out here and fulfill the task. So I'm saying, I mean, look, if I'm out here and I'm trying to get this thing on and going as a company driver, right? And I want this, yeah, I could dedicate 1 year. I could dedicate 1 year and stuff, and then we'll do an assessment. We'll do an assessment and then see what changes and stuff got to be made. Did I hit the $10,000 goal? Of course I did. Of course I did. I did it in 5 months and got the bills and stuff paid. And I still got 9 more months left. Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong and stuff. So I'm saying, I mean, still got 7 months left. You still got 7 months left and stuff. So I did it. I knocked it out in five. I still got seven left. I still got seven left. And so I mean, after a year, you go back and you do an assessment. Because you remember last year, everybody was talking. Last year the talk was people was making $10,000 net. They was taking home 10 grand. I'm saying that's in the own operator sector. That's in the own operator sector. People was talking about they was making 10 grand and stuff. I say, hey, we'll see. We'll see and stuff in 2022. We'll see because if you sitting over there and you doing those type of numbers and stuff there, right? $10,000. You sitting over here doing $10,000 net, right? That's five. That's five, you netting 10,000. You netting $10,000 a week. So I'm saying if you're doing that consistently, that's what. That's 520,000. That's $520,000. $520,000. That's a lot of bread. You saying that you was net? You said guys out there that's netting it. So it should be reflective on your business. What's the goal now? If I know I'm doing it, I'm doing it consistently. No, I'm not going home. I'm steady out here get this money because when the time next year we're gonna do an assessment. We're gonna see where I stand, and then we're gonna make whatever change and stuff that need to be made and stuff. And all I see a bunch of people doing the stuff working for other folk, working for other people. Man, hey, what happened? Y'all was talking about it was making all this money and stuff. I mean, where is it? Because it's going to be reflective on your business. It's gonna be reflective on your business and stuff. I mean, when the fuel prices and stuff went up, I mean, heck, you made $520,000 last year. That should cover you this year and stuff. Everybody went to complain. Oh man, shoot, I got to turn this truck in. I got to give it up, man. Operational cost is too high right now. But you was making all the money last year. You was making all the money last year. Everybody was up there posting their settlements and stuff. Hey, look, this is what I'm making. Okay, yeah, you got that flex culture thing going on. All right. Then it should be reflective. It should be reflective of your business. You're still not, you're still in this lease truck. Still in this lease truck. Still going over here to this other 1099 company. So I'm saying, I mean, and since we're on the topic of 1099, the same thing still applies, right? The same thing still applies, but as a person that's getting paid on 1099.
I forgot. As long as I got the headset on, I can speak without a lot of noise and stuff. Like, hey, if you're still up there, give me an audio check. Let me know everything and stuff is good. I want to make sure I'm talking through the headset and not through the intercom device, which could be a bit loud. That's weird. I can't cut that off. So is my audio still good? Is everything okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and go into it. I'm gonna just assume everything's all right. So, like I was saying, if you're 1099, right? If you're a 1099 and you haven't hit your goal in 6 months, then it's time to really reconsider, you know, just go on W-2. Find you a good, you need to find you a good CPA in a hurry, because what you're doing is um, you're making money, but it's not going towards any kind of business or whatever. So you can't write none of it off. It's just like you were an employee. It's just like if you was an employee, self, you still got all these deductions that you owe, but it's not really going towards anything. So that's why I say about 1099 is there. You ain't got to, you know, if you ain't got some kind of goal set that you're trying to get to quickly, then it's really no benefit. It's really no benefit in 1099. In fact, it's probably more of a hindrance. It's probably more of a hindrance than anything else and stuff. So, guys, now you got to find your good CPA. You got to find your good CPA, and you got to make sure that you're sending your deductions in. You're sending in your deductions stuff to pay your taxes. Because you ain't got anything to write off. It's not going towards any kind of business. So, not like the word stuff. If you're self-employed, then things can be a little different. A lot of things that you can write off. And so, that's the thing there. With 1099, the same deal still applies. Is that, hey man, look, if you ain't got your 10 grand, you ain't got your 10 grand and stuff in 6 months, then dude, just go and hang up. And I'm saying 6 months is it's really too long for a 1099. It really is. It's really. But I say 6 months is a goal. I'm talking about it's got to be something beyond just say the 10 grand. Like, hey, look, I'm doing a 1099 because I want to go get my own equipment, my own truck, my own trailer, and this is just a more expedited path. It's more expedited way of doing it without me having to get to a lease program and stuff going to do. You know, it's a better way in that process there and stuff. So, um, so the next step is, now you're in the lease program, right? You're in the lease program. Well, number one, anybody's lease program that you're getting into, I'm pretty sure they got company trucks over there. So if you're thinking about jumping in that lease program, Be a company driver for that company first. If you're talking about going to Prime, you're talking about going to Prime, be a company driver for Prime first. Because there's a lot of things that you got to learn in this short little period of time. You jump into this lease program, and then you got all these deductions, and you really don't understand the comings and goings about business. Because when you're in this lease, what they're doing is that they're giving you the responsibility of a known operator, but they're keeping you in the realm of a company driver. They're keeping you in the realm of a company driver, which means that they get the best of both worlds. That means that they don't have to worry about the equipment. They don't have to worry about the equipment side of things on their business, and they get to run the truck. They get to run the truck without any kind of fear of consequence of what it any kind of fear of consequence of what it means if the truck was a company truck. If it was all their responsibility, the fuel, the maintenance, the upkeep, all those things there, which it still is, but they're saying that, well, the fallback is you. The fallback is you in the lease program. And so, in the lease, it's the same thing. Is that you got to be more business intuitive, because there's a lot of things that you could be doing to be helping yourself in your business. Because the lease, all you are in the lease is that you're just renting the tool. You're an own operator, just renting the tool from said place. But when you rent tools from places, they got rules and regulations, guidelines, policies, and procedures that you got to go by. And so, these rules, regulations, guidelines, policies, and procedures that you have to go by are things that pretty much regulate your business to a point to where that's what you are, glorified company driver. They're getting all the business rounded up for you, but if they don't round up any business, they don't lose anything. They don't lose anything. Like I said, heck, if your truck payment is $2,600, if your truck payment is $2,600 a week, right? If it's 26 a week, and a company like a Prime Inc. and stuff, and you got 72 contractors. I mean, you got 52 contractors paying. You got 52 contractors paying 26 a week. That's $72,000. That's $72,000 a week. That's 72,000 and stuff, man. So you take 72,000. You take 72,000 in 13 weeks. They done made $1 million just off the truck, and truck payment, along with all the other stuff that's involved in that. Well, I mean, that's just the truck. We ain't even talking about all the business stuff that's in there. And so for every $1 million that the company makes, they can buy 10 trucks. For every $1 million that they make, they can buy 10 trucks, cash, done with it, no finance. So see, it's very hard and stuff for the people to make that transition into the leasing world, not understanding that, hey man, listen, I am an owned operator. They don't look at it on that aspect there. They'll tell you that, well, hey, by you making that, run your truck like a company truck. No, you can't do that. You got to be totally when you become an own operator, you got to be totally opposite of what you did as a company driver. You got to be involved in the comings and goings of what it means, the comings and goings in the business. So the contracts that they set up may not be good contracts for you. But again, you got to be all in. But they don't tell you that. Okay, well, just get the truck and we'll get the truck and we'll take care of all the business and the innovations and all that stuff there. You just make sure that whatever load comes across there and stuff, you just do it. You do have the option to turn it down because it's a non-force dispatch. It's a non-force dispatch. But I'm saying, what's the problem with it? It works a little bit differently when you're in the lease, because now there are things that can actually affect your bottom line. But when you're a company driver, all these things again are taken care of, but there's no bottom line you got to worry about, because they're worried about all that. They know what loads to take and what loads not to take. They know what contracts to sign and what contracts not to sign and stuff, because they're saying, well, look, hey, the bottom line is on us as a company driver. Lease, different. The bottom line, they got their bottom line, which is, hey, we'll go for whatever rate and stuff that is, because we're making the money off the load, and we're making the money off the trucks and all other stuff, all other things that we want to charge. They're going to get theirs before you get yours. So, it's a lot of responsibility in that. And people don't know how to address those issues on a business perspective, on a business aspect. So you're still going in there based upon emotion and all the other stuff there. And they really don't care as long as the seat is filled. As long as the seat is filled and stuff, because, come payroll time, okay, well, hey, truck payment time, and whoever's in that truck will have to pay for it. So they want you feeling comfortable with the fact that you have some say so in the business. Not all, not the real comers and goers, but you got the ability to say no about certain loads or whatever. I see it, no, I'm going to turn this one down. I'm going to turn this one down. Yeah, I feel like a business person, but, that's not how business works. It's not about, business is about taking on the task at hand and then making sure you're being compensated for that. You're being compensated properly. Okay, yeah, this is a load right here. I don't have a problem in doing it. I don't have a problem in doing this stuff as long as I'm being compensated properly for the task at hand. Okay? So, we start negotiating rates and stuff like we start negotiating rates and you're saying, no, I can't do it. Well, then, hey, that's all right. That's cool. Don't waste my time anymore because this is what it's going to take for me to take care of this particular business here. If my rates are too high and stuff, you couldn't afford me anyway. That's what it is. You don't like my rates and stuff, that's fine. That's cool, but the rates ain't going to change. I'm not going to change for you. You got this task right here. You got this task right here. Go find somebody else that can do it cheap. Best of luck to you. But if you want me to do it, this is what it's going to be. I might have a little wiggle room and stuff. I might have a little bit of wiggle room and stuff, but not much. But see, you're not in that position of being a negotiator. Which the people that you work for, that's what they're doing every single day, and they're negotiating. Some stuff they get, some stuff they don't, but they say the same thing. Hey, look, you're not willing to pay our rates, you can't afford us anyway, because the service that we provide is that's how much it costs. That's how much it costs. You don't like it, find someone else. But we're not lowering our rates. But you're not in that negotiation. Process unless you get with some of these other characters. You get with some of these other characters, and even again, like the BLs and stuff where they talk about that they don't show rate confirmations. The BLs, they don't show rate confirmations or whatever. It's the same thing. Well, okay, we'll do all the negotiating for you. Whatever we find, that's what you take. We'll get our cut, whether it's what, I don't know, what's 20%, 20% or 25%, but that's a rate that they negotiate and not something that you negotiate. So now you don't know what they negotiate on that side there and stuff, and then here you are being presented with something that you ain't even got a rate confirmation to even confirm and see what was actually being paid for the load. Okay, this is what we're going to give you right here. This is what we're going to give you right here and stuff. I couldn't get anything and stuff on that side. And so, you get out there, you get out there doing the load, you find out they're making more money. They're making more money off that 20% or that 25% than off your 80% when everything is said and done. But they're being great negotiators for themselves because they know that, well, okay, I've already got the money for the load, and now I just got to get you to do it for this amount right here and stuff, right? And then you take it because you don't know any better, so they done made money in both hands. They made the money off the load, they made the money off you. And then come truck payment time and all this stuff, they making their money off that. So they doing these type of bad deals, and so it takes somebody to have to really figure these things out. Then when they get caught up, okay, well, all right, we got to shut the operation down and put in another person's name and open it up over here. Hey, man, listen, we leasing trucks and trailers, and we're not these people here, And then you're back in the same deal. Okay, listen, don't worry about finding loads and negotiating rates. We'll do all that. You just, once we get the thing said and done, you take the load, right? Appreciate the work that we put into trying to secure money for you. what I'm saying is that, when you understand the business and how it really goes, it's like, man, look, dude, you was ripping me off the whole time. I didn't need you. I didn't need you to go over here and rip me off. I could do my own negotiating. I could do my own negotiating. And my negotiating, I can do something better than you. I'm saying, if the contract calls for you to get 20%, then why are you sitting there, double dipping? And the reason is because they don't know no better. They take advantage of your ignorance. They take advantage of your ignorance. So it's, okay, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is and stuff until the truck start breaking down. And now the money that you were supposed to be making to take care of these repairs and stuff, now you can't do it. And you're in the hole with them. They got to borrow money. You got to borrow money from them, and then they looking at you with the side eye like, hey man, okay, don't make this a habit. All right, yeah, I'll loan you the money and stuff to get this thing fixed. But man, hey, look, you got to do better. You're an own operator now. You got to be saving up your money and stuff, and making sure when these problems come up, we can't just be bailing you out every single time. But if you was paying me fairly based upon these rates as you negotiate, I wouldn't have to borrow any money from you because I would be making the money, and then I could be putting it away properly. Now when it's time to do some own operator stuff, no, man, I can't. I ain't no bank or nothing like that, man. Look, what are you doing with your money? I ain't making it because the loans that I'm doing, I'm doing it grossly under par, which means that I don't have the proper funding needed in order to operate my business because I'm dealing with you. Man, you're just out there spending your money and all this, man. Listen, first I have to make money to save money. And so, when we sit there and we put these things on the table, and you're talking about, I'm a lease drive over here making $375,000. Shout out F2S. Shout out F2S. They said the desktop contractor last year made $375,000 last year. $375,000. That's what their top contractor made. So, for those of you that's doing the math, that's a little over $7. So that's about $7,300 a week that the top contractor was making over there at F2S. $7,300. That's what they was making. That's what they average up to and stuff. If he did $375,000. But these were the same people, right? These were the same people that talk about that they was making $10,000 take home. They was making $10,000 take home, but the top contractor only made $375,000. And then when I went into the comment section, they was up there laughing at that stuff. Y'all remember? Y'all remember? All last year, that's all that they were talking about, man. Oh shoot, I'm making $10,000. I'm making $10,000 take home. But then they posted up there, the top contractor made $375,000. So if it's $375,000, that's $7,300 a week. That's $7,300 a week. They advertise that all on Facebook. Yeah, come on over here to F2S. Come on over here to F2S and stuff, man. But again, you look at these carriers, what they talking about? Yeah, well, we made $300,000. Made $300,000. Made $300,000. But I thought y'all was netting $10,000. So if you netting $10,000, if you netting $10,000 and stuff, the number should be way higher. If you net $10,000 and stuff, I mean, $10,000, $520,000. That's what your top contractors are supposed to be making, but they ain't doing that. And so all the stuff is on the loan board and stuff. And so when you put these things in its proper perspective where it's supposed to be, why are they up here bragging and talk about they making all this money? Now you see why they can't sit there and do the things and stuff that they supposed to be doing. Because if you're making that type of bread, right, from last year, what are you doing this year? I told you, always keep your eye on the business. Don't never look at the personal stuff. Don't never look at the personal stuff. Always keep your eye on the business. What are they doing on the business side? Because I mean, if you're making that type of bread, then what kind of moves are you making in your business? Not in your personal life, in your business. Don't be flexing on the gram and stuff about cars and houses and all that other stuff there. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that and stuff. I want to see what are you doing in your business. And so that's why we're putting it out there. Okay, well, how many people out here got $10,000? How many people got $10,000 in their account? They ain't got it. They ain't got it. So that sound like moves. You're making moves and stuff for people that don't have it. Because if you had it, you already know what to do. And that was the whole purpose of the 10 grand plan. Is that there's really no secret to it. Because once you get the 10 grand, you already know what to do. If you was already making the money, just like I said last year. If you're making the money and you're making it consistent, you did it for a year, you will already know what the next step is. If you're doing it consistently, you already know what the next step is. But they make one good settlement. They make one good settlement, and then they got to go up here and flex on the gram and all the other stuff there. And then next thing you know, you see them. Well, hey, things are bad in their business. Things are bad in their business. Now they done lost the truck. They done lost the whole bit. They got to start over from scratch, go into another carrier. So I'm saying is that, the 10 grand, if you already set that goal right there, which I say it might be large for some, and it might not be so large for others. But if you're on the beginning process, this is what you have to do. You have to take these steps. First thing first. When you get your first settlement, what are you supposed to be doing? Go getting your credit fixed. You're supposed to be doing that with your first paycheck, your first settlement. Find somebody to fix your credit. Because it's going to take some time, and in the time you are sacrificing, right? When everything is said and done, you already had the capital needed necessary. Your credit and stuff will be fixed up, and then you can move to the next step. Because you have everything needed and in place. But okay, first settlement I get and stuff, man, I'm going round down here and stuff, and I'm blowing on dumb stuff. Like, well, okay, is there going to be some consistency to even see? Yeah, it's going to be a consistency because I'm going to put the work in. And stuff, so it's got to be understood to the people at the house. Hey, look, I'm trying to get 10 grand, so it ain't no point of me even coming to the house until I get it. The house going to be taken care of and stuff like that, but I got to get out here and I got to grind until I get it. Once I got it, then I'll go to the house. Because now it's time, now that I've reached the goal, it's time to go to the next step. We're going to do some reevaluating. What were some things that I did? That I could have did differently? And now that you're ahead of the game, you ain't got to put that sacrifice in as much. You ain't got to hit the road as much. But I'm saying, at the same time, don't sit there and then just get the money, which I doubt many people and stuff won't do, I doubt that people will do that. That when you get the money, just don't sit there and get complacent and say, okay, that's all I need. Because once you get there, it's going to put a drive in you to do more, to make more. You're going to double and triple. Okay, what business I need to go into in order to increase my capital? Because, see, you certainly qualify, because once you got that type of capital there, it's going to start to get the attention of the right people, movers and shakers, and all they got to do is just make sure that you're a business type in the business. I might not understand the intricacies of the things that I'm investing into, but I do understand business. And I'm saying, if you feed me a bunch of BS and stuff, hey, man, no, I can't rock this. But if they know that you're in a business mindset and stuff, that means that you're open and susceptible, ready to learn. Because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to. There's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I said, there's things I don't have to respond to because, like I You know, they show themselves at the end of the day. They show themselves at the end of the day. Didn't have to respond to it. I didn't have to respond to it because I understand business. And like I said, business it flows into every area of what you're in. Every area. So you want to know the difference between the boys and the men. You want to know the difference between the boys and the men. I say it's very simple. I said, see, the boys will sit over here and stuff and start hitting you up on, they start going on your Instagram page and stuff like that, sending little, sending little unnecessary comments and stuff like that, being little boys. But men do men things. Men do men things like take care of business. Men do men things. They take care of business and stuff. There's a reason why, certain things go on. Say, well, you're trying to get the attention. You're trying to get the attention of this certain woman right here and stuff, and then you ain't getting it because you ain't attractive. The things that you're doing ain't attractive because you don't have a business mindset. You got a little boy mindset, and so you do little boy things. You do little boy things and stuff like that, and then, when I peep you out, I see what it's about right there. You do little boy stuff, but you're trying to get the attention. You're trying to get the attention of a woman, trying to get the attention of women, and then your aspect of trying to take care of a woman, or whatever, you want her taking care of you. You got these little boys and stuff, think it's cool or think it's some kind of flex or whatever and stuff, right? To stay in a woman's house and drive a woman's car, spend her money, and then they go out here and start talking about, the modern woman. Why are the women so masculine? Why the women are so masculine and stuff like that? Because they mess with these little boys. These little boys want to go out here and stuff. They ain't trying to do anything. They ain't trying to go nowhere. They got opportunity all around them and stuff, man, that they scared to get their hands dirty. Scared of sacrificing. Scared of doing what they supposed to do. And then, you come up to me and then talk, I'm a know-it-all. You absolutely right, I'm a know-it-all. You absolutely right, I'm a know-it-all, because I'd rather be a know-it-all than not know it enough. I know what men do. That's why I don't respond. I say, well, But when the men go into action and stuff, I say, pay attention to. This is what you need to be paying attention to. How they doing man stuff. But see, when you're a little boy, and you're doing these little boy stuff, like, man, I can't do that. Man, I can't be taking care of no woman. Dumb type stuff, man. You can't even pay. I'm seeing stuff, man, where men are getting up here, grown men getting up here and stuff, and you going on a date with a woman and you can't even pay for a meal. Like, man, get your bum tail up out of here. But you got these losers up here with these loser mentalities and these loser philosophies and stuff, and then, and they wonder, like, and they wonder and stuff like, well, why are people listening? They ain't really listening to you, but you're coming up here in my feed and stuff, or you coming up here and finding me on Instagram and stuff and sending me all these dumb type of messages, and then you keep messaging me. It's irritating. That's the thing. I'm like, men don't do that. It's irritating and stuff. It's just like a fly. You got to keep swapping it and stuff like that. I mean, the fly landing on you and all this stuff. That's what it's like. It's irritating. You got my attention because you're irritated. You don't have my attention because of something that you're doing that's profound. Because I know you're a little boy, and I keep telling, hey, little boy, go somewhere and play. Go somewhere and play and stuff, man. This is men over here doing men stuff. And then you want to perpetrate a fraud as a man, but then There are men doing men stuff, and then you wonder why is your woman? Why are you losing your woman? Oh, my woman is cheating on me. She ain't cheating on you. She upgrades. She upgrades. She wants to be around a man, a provider, a protector. Men understand this stuff, man. Look, hey, being a man, it ain't no flex. This is what we do because we're men. But these little boys, these little boys and stuff keep jumping on the Instagram, you know, doing these little messages, and then I hit them up with some, business stuff. Okay, hey, listen, do some business stuff. This what you need to do right here and everything. And all the back and forth and everything. All the back and forth stuff, all the name calling and everything. I'm like, dude, look, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that stuff because I already know you defeated. I already know you defeated. But see, shout out to the men out here. Shout out to the men out here. And in case anybody know, I am speaking subliminally. But shout out to the men out here who's showing what it really means and stuff to do your doggone thing. Shout out to the men. I am speaking subliminally. But shout out to the men. That's why I don't have to really go into detail about stuff. You know what time it is. You can play all the games, you can play all the little games and stuff that you want to play, but then you go right back to the men. You need the man, the provider, the protector. You already know what it is. And like I said, shout out to the men. Shout out to the men who showing the boys how to get it done. Shout out to the men showing the boys how to get it done. That's how you do it. You ain't got to go no name calling. You ain't got to go name calling, no name dropping, none of that stuff there. Just go out there and do your business as a man. Do your business as a man and stuff to say, well, yeah, let me go and show you how you upgrade your business the right way. Let me go and show you how you upgrade your business the right way. And while my business is being upgraded, I think I'll go ahead and do some other stuff. Let's see. They got any more equipment out here for sale? I don't know which way I'm going to go. I don't know which way I'm going to go. Do I want another truck? I don't know, man. These contractors, they calling me and stuff, the contractors are calling me. I ain't flexing with cars and jewelry and all this stuff. Just showing you how the business is done, right? Just showing you how the business is done. People saying, no, you can't do it that way. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I got my business and the people that's talking about it can't be done. They don't have a business. I don't know. I don't know. But like I said, hey, shout out to the men out here. Shout out to the men out here who's showing how it's done. Like, hey, man, look, go over here and take care of this thing, and go over here the other way. Since I'm already down here and stuff, I'm always gonna kick my feet up. I don't know. Just men being men in business. But how you start out and stuff, like I said, you start out small, man. Look, people gonna sit there and stuff people gonna tell you, or they gonna say the sacrifice ain't worth it. Like, man, you crazy. What the heck you doing, man? You done had a house. You got you a brand new house, and you ain't stayed in it. You ain't been home and stuff, man. Like, yeah, well, hey, there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now. A lot of stuff that's going on right now. I'm saying, hey, I got the house. The house ain't gonna grow legs and go nowhere and stuff. So like, hey, but I got to do what a man got to do because the boys obviously don't want to do it. The boys don't want to take care of their kids. The boys don't want to take care of their kids and stuff. Their children need college tuition. The children need college tuition. They need a car to drive. They need clothes and stuff like that. They want to be like normal people and stuff like that. And then the little boy want to sit there. Oh, I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. But then your child calling you for a few dollars and everything and stuff, but they can't get nothing for you and everything. So you cool with your child going to another man asking them for money. You cool with your child going to another man asking them for money because the man that's supposed to be providing protective, he just up on Instagram and stuff, being an irritant and stuff, man, to the men that's out here that's doing what they're supposed to do. Always critical and stuff like that. Okay, well, if there's a better way, why ain't you taking care of your responsibilities? Why ain't you taking care of your responsibilities? Just saying. Your child needs clothes, shoes. They back in school and stuff like that. You cool with your child going to school ragged. You cool, you cool with that type of stuff. I ain't cool with it. I ain't cool with it because see, the man that raised me, the man raised me and stuff, he made sure that when I went to school, I went anywhere and stuff like that. Hey, I had the fresh cut, I had the best clothes. I ain't gonna say the best on, but I had the fresh clothes, let's put it like that. Fresh haircut, fresh clothes, money in my pocket. When certain things came out, I could do stuff like normal people. And all I had to do, hey, pop, hey, dad. Didn't even have to say that and stuff, man. He set a bank account up for me and stuff. Hey, look, teach you how to be a man and stuff. Here's your bank card. Here's your bank card and stuff. This is how you draw money. This is how you keep money in your pocket. So, when you're ready to do stuff, you ain't got to wait on me all the time. You got your own stuff. That's what men do. But, these little boys and stuff like that, bring these kids into these world, bring the kids into the world, and then, they ain't giving them nothing. No fallbacks, no nothing. And they cool with other men going out here and stuff to take care of them. And they ask why the woman is messed up. Man too scared to sacrifice. I ain't gonna say too cowardly to sacrifice. They too cowardly to sacrifice. But they tell you what you doing is wrong. You're gonna be up against that. Man, what they talking about getting $10,000? You can get it because you got the license. You got the license. You driving the truck. The rest of them, they just coming up to you and talk, man, I'm gonna get my CDLs one day. I'm gonna go to truck driving school one day. If you got the drive, you got the ambition, you'll get in school, man. Shoot. So hey, they're training you for free. Y'all think you have a driver's license, pass the physical, go down there and pass the test, but that requires dedication, commitment. Something that they ain't ready to do. But these same folks get up here and tell you and stuff, and you doing the doggone thing, or you're at least in the position to do it, and then they come up and they tell you that, well, no, it can't be done. It can't be done. I'm sitting over here dropping this information, and then, oh, you just ignore it all. You doggone right. I'm doing the doggone thing because every time you see me, I'm in the element. Every time you see me, I'm in the element. Where are you at? Where you at? Running in some street or whatever stuff at your girlfriend house and stuff, about to power up your PlayStation 5 that she bought for her kids, so you can go over here and play your NBA or NFL, whatever, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Fortnite, whatever. That's where you at. Then you get a little hindrance of me. You get a little hindrance of me and stuff, and all of a sudden now you all upset. Now you all upset and stuff. I'm like, man, look, look, I don't want the woman. I don't want the woman. Because if she's willing to tolerate you, if she's willing to tolerate you and stuff, that ain't nobody I'm really rock with. Because that's all she been used to. Taking care of little boys and stuff, man. I put this information out here because I want you to make that transition from being a boy to being a man. This is what men do. Men get dirty. Men sacrifice. Men ain't gonna always have things their way all the time. Told you think I want to run the East Coast all the time, New York City, Jersey, and all this stuff, man. I need a break too. I like to run the Southeast every now and again, but I know it ain't no paper down there. Ain't no money down there. So I got to stay where the money is at. Because I got dreams, I got ambitions, man. I got things that gotta be taken care of. That's why I got a house. That's why I got a house and you don't. That's why I got a house and you don't have a house, because hey, I'm willing to sacrifice. But see, the thing is, before I got the house, man, look, I was living in the truck. Man. Hey, look, can you do 2 years straight? Can you do 2.5 years straight of staying in the truck? Because that's what I had to do. My dedication was that deep, and it paid off. It paid off and stuff. I'm just saying, that's just in that aspect there and stuff. This truck here paid off. I'm sitting over here thinking, man, which way am I going to go? Do I want the W9 or do I want the 379? I don't know. This thing could go either way and stuff, man. Meanwhile, let me stay in this right here and try to figure this thing out. That's the type of headaches and stuff that you have. Like, you can actually go get the things that you want because of the dedication and the sacrifice that went into it. Don't you want that? Because I'm looking like, hey, yeah, 10,000, yeah, I got this. More than that, just put away and stuff. It's put away to people just asking questions about, hey, man, what you gonna do with this money? What you gonna do with this money every week and stuff now? Just getting phone calls about what am I gonna do with the money that I went out here and worked hard to save? What are you trying to do with it? I don't know, but when I come to an ultimate conclusion and stuff, man, I'll figure out something. Until then, it's there right there for what I need. It's a fallback. It's a fallback if you want it to be. But meanwhile, let me get back out here and do me and stuff, because these little boys out here, they certainly ain't gonna do it. Hey, so look, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here and stuff, right? So we got the 10 grand plan that's going. We got the 10 grand plan that's going on. I hope that this video was informative. If you need me to go more in depth and specific about what you need to do and stuff in order to get that 10 grand closed, to get to that 10 grand, just give me a call. My contact information is on my YouTube page. If it's about trying to get that 10 grand in trucking, we'll go ahead and lay out a plan, something for you, so that you can go and hit the goal. We'll keep constant updates and make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do on your end, because again, there's no excuse why you hold a CDL license and you ain't got $10,000 in your account. But the number is there. If you need it, feel free. Text me first. Let me know who you are. Text me first. Let me know who you are. Let me know what the subject matter is and stuff. It doesn't have to be particularly about the 10,000. It could be about anything. As long as it's dealing with trucking, I'll go and help you out. I'll set up a time to where you can call me and stuff, and then we're going and going constructive dialogue. So it's there if you need. Also hit me up on my Instagram page. That's Rhode Island Red Rooster 22. Rhode Island Red Rooster 22 on Instagram. Always focus on things like my 2013 Freightliner Cascadia. And with that being said, go ahead and end on that note. As always, it's your man right here, the one, the only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster. Telling you as always, continue your own research, fact finding studies. Harness on your skills every day. Okay, Mr. Robbins, let's see. Rooster, how much did you pay for your oil suction and main manifold? Okay, at the time I got it, the oil suction manifold was about 100 and it was about no, it wasn't even 100. It was about $79. It was about $79. Um, so they probably went up a little bit in price and stuff, but it shouldn't have went up that much. The oil suction manifold. Just remember, if it's for the Cascadia, right? The ones that they make now are plastic. The ones that they make now are plastic. So just keep that in mind. So when they drop your oil pan, if you got a metal one that's under there, don't worry about it. It's still going. It doesn't mean that you got to match it up with a metal one. It's just some earlier versions of the Cascade just came with they came with the metal one and stuff. And so the plastic one will work fine. Um, if you look at the suction manifold, it might have, yours might have like a metal gate under it, and the new one that they sell you, the new one that they sell you doesn't have one. It's plastic. Um, it's plastic. It still looks the same and stuff as the metal, and it just don't have that metal gate and stuff at the bottom of it. They removed all that and stuff. It's all plastic. So if you're gonna do those rings and stuff like that, which I'm pretty sure that's probably why you got low oil pressure on your Cascadia. But if you're changing them, yeah, go ahead and change the oil suction manifold because it does have the oil suction manifold does have an O-ring inside of that, right? And it's just best to go ahead and change it rather than to tear it apart just to put the O-ring and stuff in it. So the new one already has it in there and stuff, so they just take the old and I'll put the new one in. They'll put the new O-rings and stuff on your oil suction tubes and stuff, and that way they'll keep your oil pressure and stuff up. So yeah, it's not expensive. It's just I don't know if they're gonna hit you up as being like, oh well, it's on national back order, that type of nonsense. Which I'm pretty sure they shouldn't. I'm pretty sure they shouldn't. But it's not expensive part. It's not expensive part and stuff, but it is best to go ahead and just change it since they're gonna drop the oil pan and stuff because it does have an O-ring in it, and if you change the O-rings on oil suction tubes and stuff, and you don't change that one that's on the oil manifold and stuff, it'll still give your oil pressure will still be kind of off a little bit. And if that helps out, it. How much did I pay to get it done? Oh, there I go running my mouth and stuff. How much did I pay to get it done? Jay Boy, what's going on? I got mine done. Let's see, was it last year? Yeah, okay, it was last year stuff. The guy charged me. He charged me. I want to say 1,000. I want to say 1,000 because when you and the reason why it's 1,000 is because you're doing the oil change too. When they drop the oil pan, and all this stuff there, you're doing half of it is labor, half of it is the oil change. So you see what I'm saying? That's why I came up about that. That's why I came up to 1,000. It's a real simple job. Though. It's real easy and stuff. Once you drop that oil pan, yeah, once you drop the oil pan and stuff, what else you got? Let's see. How is the DD15 after it hits a million miles? It's still doing its thing. It's still doing its thing and stuff. I mean, I did run into it wasn't an engine breakdown. It was something. It was something that on my part and stuff. I mean, the engine didn't break down. It's just one of the air hoses, and stuff got a chafe in and stuff. I lost air pressure on the turnpike, and what what could have turned real ugly, it turned ass ugly. It could have got ugly, but it didn't. The guy went on here and worked with me, and he fixed my air hose and stuff, and I was able to get off the turnpike. But I'll go more into detail and stuff with another video. But yeah. So to answer your question, to do all that, $1,000. That's how much you charge because part of that is oil change. They drop the pan. They drop the pan. You got to take all the oil and stuff out anyway, so you might as well change the filters and go ahead and change the filters and all that good stuff there and everything. And then, fresh set of oil and stuff, and that's that. But yeah, it's still doing all right. I mean, it's just it's a million mile truck, so it's gonna be doing a million mile stuff. So, but still doing what's supposed to do. So, anyway, y'all, that's my time. We'll get on off here and stuff, man. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll see if we can go ahead and do some more. Like I said, you got my information. If you want me to go more into detail, if let's see. Okay, you still got time. If it's 630,000 miles and stuff, man, man, the only thing you have to do, the only thing you have to do is just like what Mr. Robbins is doing right now. Warranty just replaced the one box. Okay, all right. Well, hey, I mean, good deal. But the only thing that you'll have to do eventually, just keep an eye on your oil pressure, just like what Mr. Robbins was talking about earlier. Is that uh, the oil suction tubes, those O rings and stuff, they go bad, and then your truck starts sucking oil, and so your oil pressure is gonna get low to a point where your truck is gonna kind of shut off. It's gonna get those warning lights and stuff like that. But you know, and all it is stuff is just changing the O-rings on the oil suction tube, and then just change the oil manifold. So that's something. That's something that just keep an eye on your oil pressure. If your oil pressure falls below 10 psi, then it's time to go and get changed. When your truck is idling and stuff like that, if it falls below 10 psi, it's time to go get changed. But that's about the only thing. That and the emission system, that was the only thing that I ran into from 400, and when I got the truck at 480,000 miles to, I got it changed last year, which was about 900,000. So, just expect that. Other than that, though, I mean, just keep up on your oil change and stuff like that, you'll be all right. Let's see what you got, Mr. Roberts. I was shopping around the dealership. They told me 21 to do oil ring, oil pan. No, don't go to the dealership because here's the thing. It's not a it's not something. It's not a hard job to do. The only thing that's difficult about doing that particular job and stuff on this truck is that oil pan kind of gets stuck in between. It's the oil pan can be a pain in the butt to try to move, but once you jack the truck up a certain way, that's all it is. Honestly, you can do it yourself. If you can do it yourself and stuff. It's not a hard job to do, but for 21, for 21, that's a little expensive. I would say I would keep it around, around 15. I would keep it around 15 and stuff. I mean, with inflation and everything. But 21, no, no, that's crazy. Let's see. Oh, you're not gonna need. I mean, I guess you could change the oil pressure sensor, but you don't have to. You don't have to. I got, I still got mine and stuff, but you don't have to really change it. Yeah, 21. That's too expensive. That's too expensive. All right, guys, I'm going to jump on off here and stuff. So you got lucky on my warranty. It ran out in October. Yeah, you did get lucky, guys. Usually they kind of, especially the dealership and stuff, man, they'll sit there and they'll just keep messing you around. And then when your birthday on your truck comes and stuff, like, okay, yeah, well, you would have qualified, but, your truck is now, warranty and stuff is gone, so full price. I imagine the one box now probably, it was 10 grand, so I imagine it's probably about 20 grand now. Outrageous. But, hey, it is what it is. But anyway, y'all have a good one. It's your man here, Rhode Island Red Rooster. Until next time, be safe, be easy. Peace out.